Wrong timing. The microphone just got unplugged. Apologies, guys. What is going on, people? Can you hear me? Everything all right?
Yeah, all good, all good.
Good. What is going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here back again with another live stream for you guys for all the breaking transfer news that's been going on with Tottenham over the last few hours, and there's been a lot to get through. There's been talking about, some highs and lows, as they say, the roller coaster of the transfer window. We're here to cover everything that has been going on over the last few hours. Joining me talking about look, this is what the transfer window brings on here. It brings highs, it gets excitement going. And then, as being a Tottenham fan as well, it can't all be too good. There's always going to be some anxiety. And I'll explain to you. I'm sure you guys know probably if you're streaming, tuning in, exactly what's going on. But we'll break down exactly what has been in the last few hours for Tottenham Hotspur the transfer. But first of all, Amir, welcome to the channel yet again. Appreciate your time. How are you doing today?
I'm very well. I'm very well. I'm enjoying the roller coaster. Like you said, it just feels like another day at Fort Park or Chesington, whichever one you prefer. And I guess we still got another 3 weeks of this to go, really. So hope everyone can enjoy the ride.
100%. By the way, I've sent the link out to a few of our other guys, so people might be jumping in or jumping out, but we'll have to wait and see. But without further ado, hope everyone in the chat is doing okay. We'll start off with the good news and things to get excited about. And I'm going to share my screen now. Just bear with me. Where is it? I've got it here. And we did have an official announcement for a new signing, which I don't think you need any guesses to guess who we signed and who the announcement was. Let me get it up 1 second. Where are we? Why can't I see it? I'm trying to share the screen. Apologies, people. For some reason. Oh, here it is. There we go. All right. So, as you can see here, there was a little teaser about, this is just over an hour ago now. There was a little teaser as to what was to come. This is from the Spurs official Twitter account that they were posting. This is a timeline of events, basically, that was posted. And then, bang on 7 o'clock, here was the official announcement. It's Timo time, as Tottenham put it. Timo Werner is an official Tottenham player. He has signed on a 6-month loan deal until the end of the season with a buy option for 17 million euros. We were obviously expecting it. It's no surprise. Here he is wearing the shirt. There's the official announcement from the club. I'm guessing that's welcome in German. I'm not going to even try and pronounce that. How's your German, Amir?
No, not great. Not great.
Welcome in, Timo. We're delighted to announce the loan signing of Timo Werner, subject to international clearance. Look, to be fair, I mean, say it quietly, Amir, but his best football has been in a white shirt. That is the truth, whether it be Germany or Leipzig. Hasn't been so good in blue, but that shirt really suits him, doesn't it? I think him holding that shirt just looks right, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. It looks really right, and I'm actually, I know, Spurs fans. Some are a bit, iffy on this signing. Some are very excited. I'm one of those ones in the corner. If I'm very excited about this, Ange really wanted him. Was on the phone to him, telling him he's going to get game time, telling him he suits our style of play, and I think he'll just slot into that front three fantastically well. He can play all those front three positions. His pressing is phenomenal. We've just got to hope that we get him the right boots, because if this guy gets the right boots and he gets this, his scoring shoes on, I think we've got a real player on our hands and someone that can really help us push to a successful end to the season.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's a really valuable player to have, especially with the way we play and the problems that we have up front right now in terms of just lack of numbers. I think it's a really good time to get him in, especially with the Premier League games coming up this month. I think he gives us cover. And look, I'll go through a few reports about the signing. I'll touch on that in a bit, but let's keep going with the timeline here. Another Timo Werner is here. Tottenham Hotspur tweeting out a great edit there of Timo Werner. He looks absolutely delighted to be wearing the lily white. And look, he's actually wearing the shirt in this picture and looks absolutely fantastic on him. Another one here at Timo Werner, him with the camera, absolutely phenomenal. Does really suit him. And I think, hopefully, maybe we can listen to his interview as well, because I think he has said some good things here. I don't know if you can hear
First
it.
of all, very happy to be here.
Can you hear it?
I joined a very, very big club to talk with the manager. I think it was a really, really good talk. He gave me straight away the feeling what I need to join a club, what I want to feel when you talk to a manager. Also the tactics and the style, how he wants to play, how he let the team plays. For me, I thought straight away that it fits perfectly. And the new stadium was really, really something special to play there. Straight away, I loved it. It was always big games to play against Spurs, and now I'm happy to be part of the team, of the club. It should be even more special to score for the home team, and to have the whole crowd behind you when you score is even better. And yeah, really looking forward to it. I hope that I can be the best player I can be here. I can play every position up front. That's always good when you have some players who can play different positions, who can change also in the game. I think it makes it even
He's very happy,
harder to
doesn't he?
defend for the other teams if they never know who is coming over this position now. Yeah, I think that's one of my strengths, to be flexible up front, to play every position. When I left the Premier League, you already it was straight away that you missed something, because it's the best league in the world. I missed London as well. I think I really settled in here. I loved England. When I left it, I really missed it, because it's a great city. It's a great place to be. We're all happy to be here, to be back, and yeah, join a new journey here in North London. My aim to come back here, it was to fight for another win in this league, and also maybe for titles. When I joined my old club, I also said I want to be a winner, and I want to win titles at the end. At the end, we won the Champions League, so I think it should be not too bad to say I come here to also win titles and to win something. When you already been to the Premier League and you know how much fun it makes, and to come now to a great club and to play for them, to have a very good kit on, to have the facilities around. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this experience, to get started tomorrow, and yeah, meet the guys and have fun with them.
There you go. So that is Timo Werner's announcement. I want to touch on a few reports coming from some publications, just to, some details around the deal before we react to it. Charlie Eccleshare is saying that Johan Lange was one of the key figures in the Timo Werner deal, along with Postecoglou, who has admired Werner for a long time and is confident the forward can do well in his system. Charlie Eccleshare also says that Postecoglou had suggested other targets as possible options, such as Jota from Al Ittihad, but it was Werner who ticked most of the boxes. The view among Postecoglou and Lange is that his team. The view among Postecoglou and Lang and his team is that Werner is tactically versatile and adds another option on the left and up front. And as well, he said that the reports on Werner's character were also very positive, which is another important factor for Postecoglou when signing players. He believes at that level, Spurs are operating at the talent difference between most players is negligible, and character being crucial. Werner is said to be highly motivated, conscientious, and team focused. So really, really exciting, and obviously confirming as well that Werner will be wearing the number 16 shirt. I don't know if I saw if we scrolled through that, but he will be wearing the number 16. I'm trying to remember who he's followed in the footsteps of in the number 6. I remember a young Gareth Bale wearing the number 16. I remember Reto Ziegler wore the number 16.
Oh, Ziegler. Oh, yeah.
Reto Ziegler. Who else wore the number 16? Carl Norton. Such unbelievable figures as Carl Norton. Who else wore that? I can't remember off the top of my head who wore the number 16. I'm trying to remember. Michael Carrick, I believe, wore the number 16.
Carrick. Wow.
Michael Carrick. There we go. Some oldies there. Let me know in the comment section Trippier. Trippier wore it for a while before becoming the number 2. That is correct. Very good knowledge. But anyway, look, it's for me, it's a deal that makes sense on a lot of fronts. And I think I am excited about it. I'm not going into this deal with my eyes closed, though. I'm obviously aware that he's had his struggles in the Premier League and in recent times. Talking to a Leipzig fan a couple of days ago, he was talking about how he seems to have a bit of a mental problem at the moment, a psychological issue when it comes to his form. So that obviously needs to be, we need to get that right, and hopefully we can, Ange can use his man management skills to get the best out of him. But he seems happy, doesn't he, Werner? I think a new start will do him really well as well. And I'm just excited about what he could possibly do in this team, because with his skill set, I think he's an exciting player just in general. And I am genuinely intrigued to see how he will do on his return to the Premier League.
I couldn't agree more with you there, Sim. And I honestly think seeing that interview for the first time, a couple of takes, he seems like he's coming here to win trophies. He mentioned trophies, which, already got me smiling. And another thing is that he loves London and that he's coming back to London and he's pleased to be there. We all know that some foreign players come and they, especially the ones that come from hotter climates and stuff, they have a difficult time acclimatizing to the lifestyle and stuff. So the fact that he loves London and he really wants to be back in the city, I think for us is only going to be a benefit. The fact that you're saying he's gone through some mental issues and stuff like that, I think Ange is really the perfect manager for him, and really we're the perfect team for him to come and hopefully restart his, not restart, but jumpstart maybe his career, and hopefully get him in that Germany squad with the Euros coming up and whatnot. So I think it's a great move all round, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him in the lily white, on the pitch.
100%. Obviously, with Son away at the moment, Richarlison has got that number 9 role for the time being. He's scoring goals. Obviously, he offers us versatility, but I do think he's going to be starting out on the left for sure. That's where I see his position, especially if he does start on Sunday, which I'm leaning towards he probably will at this point. He is on the left-hand side, I think. I don't think that's his strongest position, personally. I do think that the central striker role, for me, I think is where he's played his best football. I don't see him as like the most creative players. I don't like seeing him like down the left-hand side creating loads of chances. I do see him being really effective when, he makes those little runs from out to in and running in behind, maybe that space between the opposition fullback and centre-back, running in between those spaces and finding the space in behind and really hurting the opposition. But for you, where do you see him playing most of his minutes? Do you see him coming? Do you think we've brought him in to predominantly play on the left, or do you just think it gives us an option as well when Son comes back? Son can go on the left and he can go centrally. Like, where do you predict he will get most of his minutes?
I think for now, with Richie banging in the goals, I think it will be out on the left. To be honest with you, Sim, with Sonny being away for the next month or so, I can see him getting those minutes out on the left. But can I see that, being even changed mid-game, maybe, with the possibilities of him switching wings with Johnson and that kind of thing, being versatile? I can see that happening for sure. And even changing mid-game, if Richie's feeling tired, he's not having the best game, you stick Werner in the middle, and hopefully with Solomon, there's been rumours of him back in training, hopefully coming back. You could always stick Werner in the 9, Solomon on the left, Johnson on the right, and that to me looks like a good front three. So I'm really happy about what he brings to the team.
Yeah, I am as well, and I was a massive fan of his when he was at Leipzig the first time round, and Chelsea brought him in. I was a real big fan of his, and I really wanted him at Tottenham. And I was gutted that Chelsea were able to kind of bring him in. And obviously, it was between him and Liverpool. Chelsea and Liverpool, where he was going to go. And I was gutted that Chelsea got him. Obviously, it didn't work out. Albeit, as much as people say it didn't work out, which obviously we didn't see the best of him. But he did was very prominent in their run to the Champions League final. He started most of the games in that run. Did start the final as well. And he's what he is he's very tactically aware player, and he's a very he's a weapon you can use even when he's not on form, and even when he's not playing well. He's someone who's just a weapon, isn't he? Because of that sheer pace. He's got one of those attributes that it's going to scare teams even if he's not on form. And it's something that even when he's not playing well, teams are always going to have to keep an eye on him, aren't they? Because of those attributes that he has. And that's, I think, what maybe something that people get overlooked. Yeah, there'll be going to be some games, or maybe he'll go through some form where he's not playing well, when he's not scoring. But even just his presence on the team is going to naturally cause problems for the opposition because of that just unbelievable pace that he has, which teams will really struggle to deal with. And as well, because of his work rate and the fact that he's so good at pressing as well, that's also going to, even when he's not scoring, going to contribute a lot to the team. So I even envisage there'll be games where the team benefit from his presence even when he's not scoring goals.
Yeah, no, I feel you there. I think that really, that pace that he's got with him and Johnson on the wings, you're looking at two lightning fast players coming down there. So, teams will be scared. Those wing backs and defenders that he's going to come up against are really going to be worried. And for me, the key to kind of this being a successful loan deal is numbers. It's all about numbers. If he can start scoring goals, if he can start getting assists, and build that confidence, get those numbers going, I think he can really jumpstart his career with us. And who knows where it can take us. We've still got a long way to go. And I'm just delighted to came out of left field, this one. Who would have thought on the 1st of Jan that we'd be sitting here welcoming Timo Werner to the club.
100%. And that was also a very exciting element of this deal. It's very rare in this day and age, isn't it, that we get a transfer coming out of absolutely nowhere. No one's saying anything. Yeah. And all of a sudden it's done without anyone saying, in this social media era, we just get every single second of a deal, the process of a deal, don't we? It becomes tedious at times, just to the fact that a lot of the times when we do hear these deals are done, it's not even exciting anymore because we've heard for usually weeks and weeks in advance that these deals are going to get done. If you're predicting how many goals or goal contributions, should I say, between now and the end of the season he'll get, we've got a minimum of 19 games left with the FA Cup game against City as well. How many do you reckon, if you're going to predict? How many goal contributions, goals and assists?
Goals and assists. I always like to aim high. So let's go with 19 games plus FA Cup. Let's go with 15. Let's go
15.
15. Yeah.
Wow, you think he's going to smash it?
Yeah, I really do, Sim. I'm feeling confident about this signing. I really, really am. I think he's going to do really, really well for us.
I'm going to go with 4 assists and 5 goals. So I'm going to go 9. Okay. 9 goal contributions. I think he's going to have a pretty solid return. That's my prediction. 5 goals, 4 assists. Let me know in the comment section. I want to know what people are thinking. Someone saying 15 goals. Someone says 11 goals and 5 assists, says Xavier.
Yeah, that's something similar to me. Yeah.
And what's interesting as well, talking to some Chelsea fans, they all seem to like him still. Yeah. As much as he flopped, they all seem to think he actually is a good player. And they I expected them all to say, he's terrible. He's he's going to be a flop. He's a horrific player. He was terrible at us, but he's actually done quite well. He's actually held in quite high regard amongst Chelsea fans, and he's known as a bit of a cult hero. I don't know if he will be after this move, but he was known before. The only little thing in my mind as well is whenever we take Chelsea kind of not rejects, but people who were formerly of Chelsea, doesn't usually go well. When you think back to Conte, Mourinho, when we take
those are managers though, Sim. Those are managers. With players, it's a different story. Werner's going to break the mold, isn't he?
Exactly. And I'm excited for him because I'm excited for Werner because it's a new challenge. I'm hoping that we can like get him back to that form where he was, one of the most sought after forwards in European football. He's got the Euros coming up this in the summer. He's desperate to get on that plane. Well, I say on that plane, the Euros is held in Germany, so maybe on that train, I should say. It's a big opportunity for him to, really prove himself. Everyone's doubting him as well. Everyone's saying he's finished and whatever. But this isn't a player who's had any major injuries in his career. It's not a player he's a player who's still only 27. He's still. I'm not saying he's young, but he's not at the tail end of his career just yet. He's still in his prime. So there's every reason to believe he can get back to those levels, isn't there? That there's no reason to think that there's absolutely no chance we can get him back to somewhere near his best.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping him, Sim. He's coming into a team that's winning, that's reinvigorated under Ange, that's playing the type of football that suits him. The high press and attacking football. So, all he has to do really is slot into that dressing room. Hopefully, everyone will welcome him with open arms, and we've got great lads there at the moment, great manager. I'm sure all the fans will get behind him, especially if he bangs one in against United on Sunday, which I've got a sneaky feeling he might just do. So yeah, it's all in his hands now.
Talking about deals that are all in the players' hands was some good news. There did come some bad news following the announcement, and it actually pretty much broke. The story broke pretty much as the Werner deal was getting announced, and we will be touching on this now. And look, that was the Werner deal we're discussing, but now let's move on to what is happening with Radu Dragusin. We were talking. Look, this deal was kind of toed and froed pretty much throughout the whole window. We were talking earlier today in our latest update about the Dragusin deal. Last night, there were murmurings of Bayern Munich getting involved, and it did seem they had genuine interest, but Tottenham was still in control of the deal. As of this morning, Tottenham agreed a fee with Genoa for 25 million euros plus 5 million add-ons. It seemed as though we finally agreed a deal with Genoa. That was the only sticking point. We've agreed personal terms with Genoa, and it looks like we had our man. But there has been a late twist in the deal, and as I'll bring up now, Radu Dragusin has to decide in his future in the next hours, as Bayern Munich have now agreed a fee with Genoa for Radu Dragusin, and now Dragusin has two offers to weigh up. Spurs have offered 25 million plus 5 million in add-ons, and Jed Spence going on loan the other way. Bayern Munich have offered 30 million euros, a bit more than 30 million euro fee from Bayern, and is now fully on Radu Dragusin as to where he ends up, and the choice is his. And look, obviously a lot of people will be saying, could we have got this done earlier? What was this? Is this a consequence of Tottenham dawdling on the deal? I'll just bring up a few more stories just to get just so people can see what the state of play at the moment is for Dragusin. 1 second. This is from Longari now. This is as of a minute ago. So we're literally sharing news as it comes in. Optimism for Bayern in the signing of Dragusin. The defender had already expressed a preference for the German club yesterday evening, and that's why he decided to give at least 1 day to them, despite agreement already reached with Tottenham. So it looks like Bayern Munich might really have a foothold on this deal now. And look, and Amir, as much as obviously we've agreed a deal, we've agreed the personal terms of Dragusin, right? And we agreed a fee with Genoa this morning. But why would Bayern make a bid if they hadn't got any assurances from the Dragusin camp that if they agreed a fee, he would choose Bayern? Like, if Bayern know that we've agreed a fee with Genoa, right, and they know we've agreed personal terms, then unless they had some encouragement from the Dragusin camp, they wouldn't make a bid, would they?
No, I don't think they would. I don't think they would. And unfortunately, it looks like they've absolutely hijacked this deal. And could this be a bit of revenge for what happened with the whole Kane saga? I don't know. Maybe
Well,
so.
they're revenge for who? They're the ones who took our best player.
Yeah, but for us dragging it out for so long, and the whole saga, it seemed to drag on for months on end. So I don't know about this one. I was feeling positive last night, but I don't know if he's coming to Spurs. I just don't think it's going to happen. He could be on his way to Germany.
It could well be. I mean, if you're just looking at this objectively, trying and take your Spurs hat off it, you're a 21-year-old up and coming centre back who's having a breakout season in Serie A. You've got the choice of going to the Bundesliga, where you're fighting De Ligt, Upamecano, Kim Min-jae for a spot at centre back, and as well the pressure's going to be right on you right away, or you come into a team where there's a bit less pressure. You're going to get probably more game time with centre backs of like Romero maybe getting injuries and suspensions, whatever, and we'll play a very attacking system under Ange Postecoglou, and at 21, maybe it could be better for your development potentially than sitting on the bench of Bayern. Like, surely if he weighs up things in that way, do Tottenham not have a really good case for him?
For sure. If you think of it like that, it's you're coming to Spurs to fight for your place, and you probably will see more game time. But then on the other hand, the same could be said for Bayern. If he's confident in his abilities and he's confident in what he can do, why not go to a Champions League ready-made club where he's gonna win titles, he's gonna link up with the best striker in the world, he's joining one of the biggest machines in football. So I think that as much as coming to Spurs would be fantastic for him, I just think Bayern might be an offer that he simply can't refuse, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I mean, they're a giant club. There's no denying that, and it's hard when one of these super clubs. When you talk about super clubs, you're looking at Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich. Probably, I mean, I guess you put Man United, Man City in that bracket, Liverpool potentially as well. When the Spurs, just unfortunately, we don't have the worldwide prestige at this moment in time to. Not to compete with them, but it's not like a big glamorous move as much as it is for a player to join a team like Bayern Munich is to join Spurs. As much as Tottenham are a great club right now, and we are a big club, and I think Dragusin would have been excited about joining us, but when all of a sudden he hears a team like Bayern Munich interested, and I'm not that surprised he's had his head turned a bit, and maybe he's thinking, if I join a massive club like Bayern, I've got Bayern Munich on my CV, and maybe they're offering a bit more money potentially as well.
You never know, yeah.
Then maybe, and they've shown a willingness to really fight for him, haven't they? Because they bid more than us for him, and they're moving quick to get him, because we obviously have been haggling, haven't we, for weeks and weeks about this deal. Oh, a few million here, a few million there. We want to shave it off. And then Bayern have just come in and said, yep, here's 30 million. We'll have them, thank you. So do you reckon the way we've negotiated, has that given off the impression that, maybe Bayern want him more than us?
I think any player in his right mind, when he sees clubs haggling over the price, he might think, do they really want me that much? Whereas if someone comes and says, here's the cash, we want you, what do you want, personal terms wise, give them exactly what you want. I think obviously that's going to take precedent over a club that is, haggling over a mil here, a mil there. And that is a failure on our part, for sure. But,
nothing new with Tottenham, though, is it? That kind of...
that's exactly what I was going to say, Sim. It's a long old road that we've been doing this kind of thing. Unfortunately, if we want to be Those clubs you mentioned there, if we want to get to that level, there's two things we need to start to do. One, win trophies, put them in our trophy cabinet, and two, start acting like a big club and really go. If we want the player, put the money on the table and just go get your man. It's key, really. It's key. And we've got the stadium, we've got the infrastructure, we've got the incredible support, we've got the manager now. So if we had that mentality, I think it would really be boosting our kind of performance in the windows.
To play devil's advocate, I guess, if I was putting myself in Levy's shoes or whatever, arguing against that, I would say, we have agreed a deal with Genoa. We do have a fee agreed, and we've agreed personal terms, and we're just unlucky that at the last moment Bayern Munich have come in and stole a march on us and decided to hijack the deal. And there's not much more we can do when we've agreed a deal with Genoa and we've agreed personal terms. So from Tottenham's point of view, they might feel like we're a bit unlucky. We've done everything we can to try and get this deal in quickly, or try and get this deal over the line, I should say. And we tried to do it even in time, before the game on Sunday, where we know we're going to be short of centre backs. So we tried to get a centre back in before then. We got the deal agreed, and at the last moment, the deal's been hijacked. So what more can we do than have a deal agreed with the player and the club?
Yeah, it's a fair shout. It's a fair shout, Sim. I guess this is one of the tricky things, especially in January, when there's a short window that's open to get these players, that there's a lot of this kind of hijacking. And we've seen it in the past, haven't we, with players like Diaz and Willian that were close to coming to us. So it is a very frustrating situation. I'm not putting it all down to the people behind the scenes. There's obviously a lot of moving parts to this. I do just think, though, that in the first place, all the haggling, if you had just gone out and said, boom, there's what you want, take it, get it over the line, get the player in, fly him in for the medical, like do everything in a swift manner, that he could have been a Tottenham player by now, maybe even before Werner. So that's
he still might be. We don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
And he might end up choosing Tottenham. Maybe we'll make a call and we'll tell him, look, this is where you need to be. This is the best place for you. Maybe we can still convince him. I just feel like the reason I feel like at this point in time it's more likely he'll choose Bayern is not because they're Bayern. It's because I don't think they're going to be making a bid right at the last moment if they didn't hear from the agent. As we said before, if the agent didn't give them some sort of encouragement, I don't think they'd be making a bid. They must have. I can't imagine it. These things don't happen in a vacuum. I don't think clubs in 2024 are making a bid on a player on a whim in the hope that they can then convince him to come. I don't think that's how they work. There's always chat in the back channels, isn't there, between players and agents and intermediaries, and they must have had some sort of a green light from Dragusin saying, "Look, if you agree a deal, I'll come to you." And they must have had a green light.
That's what makes me think he's off to Munich. To be honest with you, Sim. Yeah. So maybe it's not a dragger on, it's a dragger off.
Dragger off.
Yeah.
Frustrating. Absolutely frustrating. Look, to be honest, as much as I am annoyed, the most thing I am, if it does end up that he goes to Bayern. The thing I will be most annoyed about isn't necessarily that we're not getting him specifically. It's more about, I think it'll be more about that we won't have anyone in for the Man United game, and that would be the most frustrating thing, because we should have had someone over the line before Sunday. We had enough time. Postecoglou's been very clear about having players in early in this window. So that would be the most frustrating thing, is that we're probably, with Davis injured, I don't know what our centre-back partnership looks like come Sunday. I know Van der Ven might be fit, but then, without Dragusin, it's probably going to be Royale, I'm guessing, which is, really, really unfortunate. that's what I'm most frustrated about. But in terms of him personally, like, I think, to be fair to Spurs, especially especially in the summer, where we went away from more expensive deals like Raya, and went for Vicario, and it turned out to be okay. I do believe right now the scouting network will have someone else lined up. I do believe that, and I do believe that that whoever we have lined up could be a good fit for us, and could have the attributes that we need anyway. So I don't think all our eggs in the Dragusin basket. I really don't believe that. So I'm not that overboard when it comes to not getting him specifically. But I'm just more annoyed that we're not going to be having a centre back in time for Sunday, I think.
Yeah, no, I feel you there, Sim. I feel your pain, and it's one of these ones where you really do have to have confidence in the scouting team. And to be fair to Spurs, to be fair to the club and the people behind the scenes, we have seen some, fantastic signings get over the line. You mentioned Big Vic there. I think, in my eyes, he's been our star player since he's come in. Been absolutely fantastic. A few others just to name, your SARS, your Doggies, absolutely incredible. James Maddison as well. So I'm really hoping that there is someone there that we can pick up instead of Dragusin, if he doesn't want to come to Spurs, that will fill that position, and Ange will be happy with him in the squad, which for me is key. You've got to get the players that Ange really wants.
Yeah, Sammy Mockbell tweeting out saying Bayern have hijacked Tottenham's £25 million deal for Dragusin, but we have a long wait to see if Radu Dragusin would accept. And I think it's a good point someone in the comments made not long ago. The green light does go both ways, and he did give us the green light when we did make a bid. That is true, and I do take that point, and I don't think we would have made the bid either unless we knew if we made the bid that Dragusin was going to pick us. But I think at the time, Bayern probably weren't an option. So obviously he's going to say yes to us. But then when Bayern becomes an option, now all of a sudden it's switched up for him, and now he's given them the green light, and that does worry me a bit. So I guess we'll have to see how this one pans out. I mean, there'll be a lot of people blaming, Levy and whatnot for this deal going tits up if it does go tits up, and I think they've got a fair point, because I do think we could have got this deal over the line before Bayern, got involved. But I also understand the other, I think it's a bit nuanced, because I would understand Levy turning around and saying, I agreed a deal. I agreed personal terms. There's not much more I can do. When in terms of trying to get a deal done for a player that we want to sign, so I understand that point as well. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens, who he picks. It's a waiting game now. It's just we're gonna have to wait it out, I guess, and see who decides to join. If he doesn't join, if he doesn't join, there were little rumors that Romero is back in training, which I've heard.
Really?
Romero, yeah.
Wow.
He was pictured today with some of the Spurs players in the training ground, and Darren Yarlett, who's get some info, was claiming that Romero is back in training. So look, to be fair, Spurs have been keeping their cards very close to their chest when it comes to injuries, haven't they? Of late, you got to think of the Bentancur return, which no one saw coming. No one even saw it coming until the actual lineup.
Yeah, exactly.
Until the lineup, no one saw it coming. So they've definitely been keeping it under wraps, haven't they, when it comes to players being back in training. Van de Ven being in the squad for Burnley, that was a bit of a surprise as well. That he'd been training. Sessegnon on the bench as well for Burnley. No one expected that. So maybe we can spring a surprise on Sunday with Romero. What do you reckon?
Well, let's hope so. Touch wood. Romero back and with Mickey there. Wow. I really fancy our chances against United if we got those two back. I really do hope we do have a few other little secrets up our sleeves in that department. I also heard Solomon was back, which for me, is fantastic news, especially with Sonny off to playing the Asian Cup. So yeah, let's hope.
He's going to be back for the Man City game. They're saying Solomon.
Oh yeah, he's still away. He's still away for sure from match fitness. So yeah, that if he's back for City, that'd be fantastic. That's a very, very speedy recovery from his injury. So
absolutely. In some other good news as well, Middlesbrough currently 1-0 up in the Carabao Cup semi-final.
Come on, Borough. Come on.
The Championship side have taken the lead there, so that's pretty nice. Good going. Let's hope they can continue. But right now, Chelsea definitely struggling. I do wonder who would be next in line when it comes to if Dragusin does fall through and we end up going for a different centre back. I do wonder who's going to be next in line. Because it was interesting to hear there are a lot of reports in Spain saying that Loic Bade was on our list, there's actually a lot of reports in Spain claiming that we were ready to make a bid for him, which was quite interesting. And then obviously the Dragusin deal, we pushed ahead on that, and we obviously had a deal agreed. But I wonder if we now go back to that, because apparently Sevilla in financial trouble. They're willing to accept about €35 million deal for him. And 23-year-old French centre-back, I wonder if he's next in line.
Be a good shout. Be a very good shout, Sim. And if we can maybe get that price down and offload someone else that maybe they want, just a thought.
And obviously Ashley Phillips has gone out on loan now. So people are saying, sucks we just loaned out Phillips with this deal maybe falling through. Brains is in the studio in the chat, and he said we can't get through this season challenging for top 4, relying on injury prevention and suspensions. So it's not the end of the world for United game, but we won't last if we don't have full centre backs who can play. I think over the long term he's got a great point.
Oh, he's spot on.
And I think we've already seen this season how it's cost us, don't we? In games where we probably would have won if we had 2 fit centre backs or even 1 fit centre back, and it's really cost us in a few games this season, especially in that run where we went 5 winless games. I definitely think we would have got at least 1 or 2 wins in that run if we had some centre backs for sure. So we've already seen how it's cost us. So I think it's a great point. We can't rely on a fully fit squad all the time. You got to have a squad that's planned for that, essentially.
It's not a first 11 game anymore. It's a squad game. And this is, kind of where we've always messed things up in the past and not had quite enough there in the tank to get us over the line. And I think that's why Ange is really, really focused on building that squad and getting the players that fit his system exactly, to a T. He's even said, I'd take someone who gives 120% game in, game out over, maybe someone who gives 60, 70%, but has a bit more talent. So, I'm really, really hoping that we do get a centre back over the line as soon as possible, really. If we can before the Man United game, fantastic. If not, the week after. Don't want to let it drag out till, I don't want all this nonsense on deadline day and be waiting. None of that. That'll be a nightmare.
All right. Well, until we hear further news from the Dragusin camp, I think that will be it for today's live stream. Amir, big up to you, mate. Appreciate your time, giving your opinions, giving you excitement for the Werner deal. It's not all doom and gloom. We have had some positive news today, but we will await what happens with Dragusin, where at least we got 1 signing. Apparently, it might have been our earliest ever signing in a January transfer window, which might be a good point. I don't remember a signing near the first half of the January transfer window for Spurs. All the signings I remember have been fairly late. You remember Nelson and Saha, they were on deadline day.
At the end, yeah.
We remember, I think Lucas Moura signed in January, but he was near the end, if I remember. I'm trying to remember other January signings. Bentancur and Kulusevski, they were fairly late, weren't they? They were fairly late in the window. What were you going to say?
No, yeah, Kulu and
Kulu Bentancur. Jedson Fernandez, potentially. He might have been an early one. I don't think he was particularly early, though. 9th of January must be one of our quickest ever moves.
Yeah, it's a great move, and honestly, to end the stream on a positive, Timo coming in, I think if as a fan base we can all be positive about this one and get behind him. He's a player that really does need the fans behind him, give him that confidence to jumpstart his career again. Let's get him going. Let's get him in the mix. Let's get him, those goal contributions. He went for 9, right, Sim? 15. I'll take somewhere in the
Exactly.
middle there as well. I take 12 or 13. That'd be all right as well.
I think 9 would be a great return.
Yeah, 9 wouldn't be bad either. But I like
Yeah,
to aim for the
aim
top.
for the sky.
Aim
Damn
for
right,
the
damn
sky.
right.
That's it.
Let's. There have been a few super chats come through, so let's read. We'll read them. Josh Bonner says, "Love the channel. Werner looks good in white, eh? What's a good return for him, assuming he stays injury free? Any news on Madders, Van der Ven back for United? Obviously, we were mentioning goal return. I think 9 goal contributions between now and the end of the season will be a pretty good return. It would show that he can consistently, contribute in the forward line, which is what we're asking for. Any news on Madders or Van der Ven? There's a few rumors about Maddison being back. They're saying he's more likely going to be back for Brentford, but as I've said, Bentancur was meant to be out for 2.5 months, and he was out for 1 month. Van der Ven was not supposed to be back this month, and he's back. So Spurs are definitely keeping their hands very close to their chest when it comes to injury news. Van der Ven, obviously, he was on the bench against Burnley. That would lead to the conclusion he should be fit for the United game. But it was interesting in an interview, which you can see on the channel now, he did after the Burnley game. He said, hopefully, he said, I'm fit now. I'm so happy to be fit. And hopefully next week I can get a few minutes. So he didn't sound overly confident that he's going to be starting, but maybe he's just being humble and, playing his chances down. Maybe he's got more of a chance to start than we think. Because we know Bentancur started, and he hadn't even been in the squad at all before that moment.
No.
Based on that, I don't think Ange is worried to throw someone in when they're ready.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Dragusin in. Sorry, go on. What were you going to say?
Yeah, no, it'd just be so great to see Mickey in that back line. Honestly, we mentioned Big Vic as one of our star players. Mickey Van der Ven has been phenomenal at the back. His partnership with Romero that they were building was simply unreal. And if I'm correct, the kid's only 21, 22. He's so young, and to be that mature and confident on the ball, it's as if he was just, born to play for Spurs. So, I'd love to see him in that starting lineup against United.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be great to see him back, and we know how important he is. Radu will come to Spurs verbal agreement. Someone says it's Fab updated on the. Let's see, what is Fab updated on the deal? Let's see.
Come on, I hope that's right.
Are people lying? There are some lies in these comments.
Oh yeah, you never know. Sim.
Yeah, I don't see. There's nothing on Twitter. I don't know where they're seeing it.
Okay.
Where are you guys seeing this, guys? There's a few people saying it.
Okay.
Are they lying? Are you all a bunch of liars? Potentially. I don't see any Fabrizio Romano update, unless hasn't for some reason come through for me. But just as we were talking, by the way, Cole Palmer has just had one of the misses of the season, open goal inside inside the 6-yard box, and he's blazed over the bar. What are we seeing? Oh, an Insta. Okay, let me see. Let me go on. Let me go on my Insta. 1 second, guys. Stay right where you are, Amir. Don't move a muscle.
The Dragathon drags on and on.
What is Fab saying? Romano. Where would it? In a story or something? He's got.
I think it could just be trolls though as well, Sim.
He's got a million stories. I can't. One have to fish. Is it a story? Is it just trolls?
It could be just trolls.
Here we go. 8 minutes to go. No, it's 8 minutes to go. Dragusin will decide his future club soon. Between Bayern and Spurs. Oh, what's this? Crucial hours. Yeah, I mean, same thing. He's still deciding. Tottenham hope Dragusin would accept to join them after postal terms agreed 10 days ago, but Bayern are in. Yeah, that's not new. That's not new. All right.
Oh, Sim, you're muted.
Sorry, my audio fell out again. Yeah, look, if anything does happen tonight with Dragusin, we will keep you updated. Maybe do a Tottenham update or something. But that is all we're going to have time for today's live stream. Amir, appreciate you, mate. Appreciate your time. And let's hope something happens with Dragusin. But at the moment, scary times. But at least we do have a signing over the line. There is something to be happy about and excited about going into Sunday, even if we don't have another centre back. So look, let's see what happens. Let's see what the future holds for Spurs. And look, just wherever happens, I'm confident we're going in the right direction. I'm happy about where we're at, where the club is at. Brain said, if anything happens, he'll drag us in. Yeah, I bet I will. So I'm not one of these guys who's going to be any doom and gloom about anything right now. I'm pretty happy with where the club's headed. Werner's a solid signing, and I'm sure even if don't have a signing in place for United, I do think clearly the plan is to get one, and I do think we will get one this window. It's just about when we get it and who it is. Obviously, if Dragusin does fall through, will be frustrating. But look, I think there's more reasons to be positive than negative. So let's see what happens. Someone said Dragusin to buy, and here we go. I think that must be a troll. And if it's not a troll, I'm going to be crying. But
it is.
That's a troll. Of course it is. All right, guys. We'll see you all very soon. Amir, catch you in a bit.
Yeah. Take it easy, guys.
Nice one, man. I'll see you soon.
Pleasure.
Yeah, we'll end the stream there. Guys, we'll see you either later tonight if anything does develop, or we'll see you tomorrow for the latest and all the transfer news. But that's all there is for tonight. Good evening, guys. And come on, you Spurs.
Come on, Tottenham.